Chairman, Managing Director, the Chief Group of Companies, Lagos. Ayekele Chief, Okereke, Abawodikis, Nandi Zog. Ever the second at top on the issue. One number of them, we are. I'm going to let you jump. I don't know my fucking motion. But when I know,
Ike dị naanị ha. Good morning, family and friends. Ekele mgba na ha na mekaniki ekweghị ka anyị mara ka ndị ara na ha. Mekaniki ekweghị amara ndị bụ ndị ara. Mana anyị ma. Anyị ma ndị bụ ndị ara, mana ndị abụghị ndị ara. We know who is mad and who is not. All right. So welcome to this new day. Also to the woke nation, our nation of factual truth, where we feel free to discuss every issue that concerns us, and there is no issue that is too sensitive for us to talk about. No matter how you want to put it, we must put it without fear of favor. And as usual, I encourage you to take care of yourself and also endeavor to seek and spread knowledge of factual truth, not knowledge of religion, not knowledge of spirituality, knowledge of factual truth. In other words, truth that is based on facts, not truth that is based on myth, based on opinions, based on somebody's thought, based on what somebody said, based on what somebody wrote. Truth that is based on fact, that you yourself can demonstrate. All right? If you cannot demonstrate it, that means it's not your truth. So quote whoever said that, but don't use it as a yardstick for living. No. So I want to speak on a blind mind is worse than blind eyes. Or you can say blind mind is worse. All right, so nobody likes being blind physically, like you used to see, but something happened, you can't see anymore. You want to feel your way, you want somebody to lead you and all that. Nobody wants to see that. Some people will say that, instead of them being blind, it's better they die, that they say such because they don't know themselves. When you don't know yourself, you'll be saying some stupid things. And you think you're just living for certain things, you're you have or for certain things you want to have, you know. And that's why you see some people commit suicide, because they don't know their value. They don't know why they are here. They think there is another thing outside them that is why they are here, but they don't know they are the reason why they are here. You are here to make yourself happy. You are here to make your life worth living. It is your life. No God is coming to change your life. No God is coming to mold your life. I made that post a few minutes ago or some minutes ago about, so you get up, you go into the so-called potter's house where they say he mold you in the wheel. But remember, in the beginning of the Bible, there was no wheel where he molded man, but because they stole the concept from African mythology, they stole the mud. They forgot the wheel, so they didn't put it in the Genesis. So they managed to put it in Jeremiah, where they say he went to the potter's wheel, where potter's house, and the potters was molding pots of clay in the wheel, and the wheel, the pot that is not good, he remolded it. And so, like, the church of T.D. Jakes Church is Potter's House, right? Ooh, when I was a Christian, man, that's one of the ministers I love to listen to them. So you're going to Potter's House, and you have been going there for some time now. Some of you has been going there from childbirth, but you haven't seen that Potter's House. But you blindly believe, yeah, he's molding me. He's molding me. God has not finished with me. Did God tell you he has not finished with you? You are the one making all that decision, and anyone that is leading you. And the reason why they are leading you is because you are blind. If you're not blind, you don't need anyone to lead you. That's why I don't have pastor over my life. I don't have anyone over my life. I don't have elder over my life. I don't have mentor over my life. No. You don't need all that nonsense. No one should be above you. No one is greater than you. No one. Understand that. So I want to speak about this, our African ancestors. I love our ancestors, those who, especially those of them from America, who grew up outside Africa, and they dig deeper to find out the truth and begin to challenge white people with that factual truth that white people even barred their books from their schools, from their higher institutions, but they didn't give up. Some of them were arrested. Even some of them, and some African leaders were also against them, but they continued, like Dr. Ben. Oh, man. But I'm speaking about our ancestor, Dr. John Henrik Clark. That's another man, Although later in his life, when he gets older, he become blind physically. He was, he can't see with his eyes as usual. I mean, maybe he was legally blind, as some may call it, but somebody have to lead him to the podium where he has to give speeches and all that. But when he opened his mouth, you'll find out that he has sound mind. His mind is not blind. His mind was not blind, although his eyes was blind. But this man can still quote books, quote authors, tell you their names, quote dates. His eyes closed. So when I watched that man, oh man, I said, this is wonderful. You see, sometimes when you speak or when you want to say something, you close your eyes. When you want to give a good kiss, you close your eyes too. When something is sweet, because it is in darkness, you see the real thing before they come out in reality. It is what is inside that really matters. Because that inside, no one else have access to it but you. You are the keeper of what is inside of you. You decide when to let it go. And no one can kill what is inside of you. Remember, you are inside and your outside are one. You can't separate them. Okay. When I say, okay, this body, you are living in that, it is you. This body is you. It's not a house you are living in, as they keep telling us. No, this body is you. This body speaks to you also because it's part of you. All right. So, for those people that created spirit, no, I am spirit physically. within and without. I am spirit. I can be filled. I can be seen and I cannot be seen. The thing I am saying right now has been in me, but you can't see it. Though I'm speaking it, you cannot see it. You cannot see my words, but that my words represent me. And because I can change, or I changes every moment, I can change my words too. I am not a slave to my words. No, I am greater than my words because I am life. I am eternal life. Jesus is not eternal life. God is not eternal life. God is man-made and Jesus is a fictional character. All of them were made by man, and whatever man made can never be greater than man. Impossible. Whatever another man made can never be greater than you. Understand that? So our ancestor, Dr. John Henry Clark, was a great man. You know, I always watch his messages on YouTube. So first time I heard about him, I watched him when he was still young, you know, all that. And still watching his clip. I download them anytime I see them. Some people share it. I download them to my YouTube account so that I can watch them anytime. So his mind was never blind, although he was outwardly blind, but he had sound mind, not corrupt mind of faith and beliefs without tangible proofs. Anybody that have blind mind must be religious. Religious people, every religious person have blind mind. They cannot see. That's why they depend on the Holy Spirit. That's why they depend on hearing from God. They have not seen. They don't have the mind of their own. They are lost people. They lost their mind. The people of faith are lost people. They are living fake life. They cannot live their life. That's why they're afraid of scandal. You see what happened? The recent thing that are happening on Facebook, social media, about how a lady bragged that she hacked a pastor's account and began to reveal all his escapade, you know, sexual stuff, romantic stuff with married women. You know, I say, oh man, you know, they can do something to me. Even if I send my nude, I send it. Yeah, you have your nude. Have you not seen a nude before? It's my own nude first time. Don't you watch porn? What will you see of my body that I have not seen before? But the thing is, the body you have not seen, you want to see. I say, see, because that pastor is living fake life, that thing may close down his church or may boost it. Because if he has already gotten strong members, revealing those things will not even touch them. They will say, oh, it's the devil working against, you know, those things are not true. And if the pastor will come up and tell them, no, they made those things up, they will believe it. Remember this Apostle Suleiman own. The lady showed the video chat they made with Apostle Suleiman. Yet people that believe in Apostle Suleiman, they say, no, it's not true, it's not true. Because they are their fellowship, FELLOWSHEEP. So they are fellowship. So they blind, leading the blind, and both of them end up where? In the ditch. You cannot stop them. The only thing you will do is to keep alerting them. They can take it or not, but don't give up. So people of faith are people of fake. They are. That's why you may say, oh, your pastor does not mess up with women. How about the money? Yeah, some pastors, yeah, they only fuck with their wife. They only fuck with their there are some girlfriends that can keep secret no matter what. Even if the pastor betrayed them, they still remain strong in the Lord. Those, I call them the real sisters in the Lord. They keep secret. They are worthy sisters. You see all those fair-minded ones, those ones that just follow a small thing. So I will leak it. I will tell people. What are you saying? It's not wrong for a man to have sex with a woman, whether married or not. Yeah, quote me again. You say, what do you mean? Somebody's wife. Marriage is against nature. Somebody's wife. So what if the husband refused to have sex with her? or her husband travel, fucking other women wherever he's living, then the woman is there waiting. I don't want my marriage to suffer. Which marriage? Marriage is man-made. Sex is natural. Sex is not evil. Sex is not bad. The only thing you say, don't force it. But if two adults agree to have sex, married or not, it is good. You can hit your head on the concrete, but your God cannot stop that. If your God allow it, it is the will of God. You believe adultery is sin. If your God allow adultery, it is God's will. So why are you the one punishing them? Let God punish the adulterer, not you. So understand this. The reason why you see your pastor, maybe your pastor is not sleeping with women. How about robbing people of their hard-earned money, telling people, "Thus says the Lord"? That one is worse than sex. Having sex with somebody's wife. Yes, exploiting people of their hard-earned money in the name of God through prophecy, through prayer, or through whatever way, through books. And you are saying this is what God said, this is the will of God, this is the revelation from God. You are worse than anyone you accuse of adultery. Yes, even the one you accuse of rape, you are worse than them because you are destroying. But that's why I say sometimes I was contemplating on it. I said before, when I was a Christian, I never saw anybody that speak against God and Jesus like myself. I never. The only thing I was arguing against people that were preaching that there was no hellfire. So I was quoting the Bible. I said there is hellfire. There is, But I never see anybody that before say, fuck God. God never existed. Because the reason why I become that angry, not that I'm angry at God, because God does not exist. Not that I'm angry at Jesus, because Jesus does not exist. No, I am angry at our people believing in them. It is ruining our family, ruining our relationship. You see somebody you love, you want to, you care about, you have that feelings that, if I marry this person, I will live better and we will enjoy better. The person will tell, because of their faith in God. Oh, I'm a sister in the Lord. I'm a brother in the Lord. Your fellow human being just reject you like that. And they live on their life like nothing happened. You see family divided. Kinsmen are no longer sitting together, enjoying their life every evening as our ancestors used to do, just because of this thing you call faith and beliefs. Although physically their eyes are open, but their mind is dead. Blind mind is worse than blind eyes. That's why some people call the mind the inner eyes. The third eye is the eye that you will use to see things that many people don't see in this universe. Those things are real around us, but they don't see it because their mind is blind. The day my mind opened, it did not open in the church where my parents baptized me, or the day they baptized me, my eyes did not open. My mind, my mind. It did not open when I went to Bible school. It did not open when I went to theological school. No, it was one Sunday morning. One Sunday morning, I was not praying. I was just sitting like every other person in Sunday school. And I was, becoming a pastor that time or evangelist. Boom! I saw it. Omega sign under it, acumen. Quick understanding. Quick understanding. And since then, no matter issue it is, however you put it, I have quick understanding. I can judge things myself. And it helped me to get out of Christianity, out of religion, out of belief system. That when I open my mouth to speak, no one can stop me. No one, some of the things you hear me say, you can never find it in any book or from any teacher. No. And you can do better. if your mind is open, if your mind is not blind, the knowledge in the universe is infinite, and you are not limited, knowing that you can know everything. They say no, you cannot know everything. Who said that? Have you tried to know everything and you fail? You can know everything, but they tell you no, you cannot. No, we have tried, we fail. You will also fail. Don't believe them. Yes, you can know everything. They call you Mr. Know It All. Say, okay, I accept. Stop denying it. Oh, you are speaking like me, because they are speaking out of blindness. They don't know what they are saying. They never see what they believe in, what they worship. So they're speaking out of foolishness, out of ignorance, out of fear, out of faith. They are not speaking out of reason. They are not speaking out of insight. They are not speaking out of open mind or sound mind. They can't even think for themselves. When your mind is sound, you'll be able to put distinction between fast and faith. Yes, you see some awakened brethren, they still believe in God, but they don't believe in God as a person, like Dr. John Henry Clark. No, he said, oh, I believe there is God, but it's not a he, it's not a she. But he believed there is higher power, higher force, and that higher force happened to be him. Yes, we are the higher force. We are the higher force. There's no force that is greater than human force. That's why you see human beings controlling those things around them. Especially when they join hands together, they become almighty. They can do the impossible. That is the person of Dr. I must always put that ancestor Dr. John Henrik Clark. I never met him in person, but his messages has touched my life a lot positively. Oh yeah, when he speak about Africa, oh man, you can hear this guy, and I will play some of his clip. It's on my wall already. I posted. I make sure I posted them. I post them before coming to share about that. He speak about our story, not about his story. The story of Jesus Christ, which is the story of white men, the story of white supremacy, the story of white privilege. No, he speak about our story. He did his own research and shared his knowledge, which you can check yourself and watch and listen on YouTube. You can do that yourself. But many of our brethren in Africa, they can access YouTube, but they don't have enough data to watch. Some of them pay for data. They don't have. Some of them don't have electric power. And these same people will come and be thinking that I'm not talking about the woke brethren. I'm talking about the religious ones. Some of them can watch even 2 minutes video in YouTube. You say it just, drain their data like, that's it. And I've witnessed it when I traveled to Nigeria. I bought data for 20,000 naira, right? That will last at least, is it like 1 month? Is it 1 week? I was playing YouTube. I was listening something to YouTube, and the thing just boom. So that's why you see in Nigeria they don't watch like porn online unless the one they download. Yeah, every phone, check Nigerian phone, you must see porn there. I mean, including that of your pastors too. All right, but they keep denying. So I will play some of his clip. Then I continue. It's already on my wall. You can check it right now and listen to them yourself. But let me start with which one will I start with? Let me turn down the volume of this so we can hear it very well. Let me start with the Africans learn from Japan, Japanese people like that from Japan. Let me.
Reverend Solomon is trying to do to be marginally beneficial if you handle it right.
But you have to understand the difference between pan-capitalism and pan-Africanism. Pan-capitalism is American corporations dominating the wealth of Africa. Pan-Africanism is African people throughout the world controlling the wealth of Africa. All religions, all fraternities, everything that touches your life must be an instrument of your liberation, or you must throw it into the ash can of history.
Yes.
We have no time for ceremony without substance. We must be led back to what we fell from, the control of the state, all by ourselves, not the imitators of our colonial masters or our slave masters. This is our crisis all over the world. Why then is it that all of the wealth-producing resources of Africa, with no exception, is controlled by Europeans? They have convinced your mind that you cannot control the wealth of your own country. You cannot control the gold that comes from the ground in your own country. You cannot make the ships or manage the harbor in your own country. And so long as you do not believe this, you're going to turn this over to other people. And you need to study the history of the rise of modern Japan. And Perry went and kicked over the door. A great Japanese educator, Baron Tanaka, called the young people of Japan together and said, we will accept this humiliation and we'll work ourselves out of it, but it won't happen again. We'll send our children to all of our schools. And they did this. By 1905, they had mastered enough technique to take on Russia. Kick Russia's butt, and people started to leave them alone. And they started a concept called the yellow pill, danger from age. They were making the airplane, everything. And not a single Japanese came home with a foreign wife.
Do you hear what he said? That is the man I'm talking about. We have no time for ceremony without substance. The woke nation, awakened Africans. It is time we put away all these ceremonies. They used to keep us confused. For us not to think for ourselves. Ceremonies, we're celebrating shit. Father's Day, Mother's Day, Earth Day, everything day. How about our life, living like people? People gave us those ceremonies to distract us from the main thing. It's a lamb from Japanese people. They suffered humiliation from the world, but they say, okay, we learn from it, but we're going to live better. They went to their school, to those who humiliated them, they went to their school, learned their secret. They came home without marrying their wife. One of the trophies African returned with to Africa is why I married a white woman, I married an American woman. Those things are what has been killing us. We have ceremonies without substance because we are dependent on those who are supposed to depend on us. We think they know our land better than us. We think they know us better than ourselves. They tell us they discover us, we believe. They are supposed to know where it started, which will make me play the second clip where they ask him a question like that. Then boom.
Look through history, we see that Africans seem to be the most prevalent peoples of slavery. The Arabs, the Indians took African slaves. What was it that made Africans accessible to slavery, or in their nature I mean, was it anything in their nature, or was it something in the way the villages were organized that they couldn't protect themselves from being captured and taken in such large numbers to various parts of the world? Like China even took African slaves. Why did they take Chinese? Why weren't other people's taken? Or were they? Well, there's a naivete in our nature as a people.
Our story.
It's still there. We're still basically an unprotected people. We still act as though we don't need protection. We still have not recognized the meanness in other people to the extent that it exists. And until we do, we will continue to be in existence. There isn't, I doubt if there's 50 good fighter pilots in all Africa. A whole continent.
No, we can't.
Well, that's not a good answer. In ancient Africa, they acted as though they didn't need protection. In the first African invasion, a bunch of sheep herders from Western Asia came in and took over Egypt. They were called the Shepherd Kings. We've always been misguided about other people's intentions. We still are. We misguided about what other people say they mean. We still are. It's bigger than that. That's a good question. There's a lot of people in the world. Why us? There were more people in Asia. Why not them? When Christopher Columbus set out, he had instructions to go to Asia, the land of the Kublai Khans. Why did he come to the West Indies? Why did he double-cross Isabella? And he did. He recommended, was one of Christopher Columbus' recommendations, that the slave trade was increased. When he destroyed the Indians, he said, go get the Africans, replace them. Why not go get the Chinese or somebody else? Why the Africans? This won't change until we change it. We have a naive concept toward ourselves, a naive concept toward the world. We have to change it. We have to stop buying other people's discarded junk and other people's discarded isms. Breaks my heart to say it, but we're partly to blame. I was lecturing earlier today to federal workers, and I said that one thing that we need to begin to think about seriously is the essential selfishness of survival. Think of ourselves first and foremost, and everything else have to come after that. We haven't made up our mind that that's what we have to do. Everybody else would do it. Would it be possible? Including that of their pastor.
Do you hear what he said? He said, Africans, we are always misguided by other people's intention. We believe whatever they said without judging their intention, without asking questions about that. Why do you want to do this? You know, scrutinize them, question them, judge them. We just accept them like ourselves. Yet these people will turn around and tell you that Africans are not behaving like a human being. They will turn around and tell you Africans are monkeys, while they are the ones that are real monkeys. Even their genes say so. Africans, We have that misconception about ourselves and our neighbors. We think our neighbors are our friends. We think they are just like us, but they're not. Look at the champions of there is one human race. All of us are one. It's Africans, black people. Why they are the ones suffering most everywhere. Because they get little promotion or little thing to enjoy. All of us are one. I have white friends. You know, black people, Africans. It's time you begin to be selfish. Selfishness is not bad. It's selfishness that make the Europeans what they are today. It's selfishness that is still making China what they are today, taking care of themselves first. Remember when people talk about racism, I say I'm not against racism. I am a racist too. But what I'm against is you using your own race against other race. That's the only what I'm against. But we have to. That's why I say, no, they teach us to love our enemies. No, we must hate our enemies and love ourselves. Some of them come on my wall saying you are preaching health. I just hate. I just remove them. That's it. I don't have time for their bullshit. And I know they are white people, people that are in the same bed with white people. Do you expect me to waste my time in arguing with them? There is nothing I will say they have not heard, but they made up their mind that for you to overcome hate, you must use love. It's not true. For you to overcome hate, you must use higher hate, not love. Love cannot drive away hate. You say dark light will drive away darkness. For where darkness is permanent, darkness is forever. It takes darkness to deal with darkness. You cannot drive away darkness. Since you believe darkness is evil, you must also be darkness. If darkness is evil, then be evil to deal with that darkness. That's only where the darkness will give way and bring light instead of darkness. Light comes out of darkness. Our ancestors say that. And he said, until we change it, we will continue being so. Are we not laughing stock all over the world? Imagine Chinese people mocking black, even killing black people, throwing black people away from there, and you see nothing can happen. Touch Chinese people in Africa, and they see the clip, you will see, you are in trouble. They have the army, they have the weapons. Is there anywhere in Africa today that Africans are building weapons of war? Anywhere? How about all the engineers that are graduating from our higher institutions, graduating from Harvard and all that? All they have to show, I am doctor, sir, I'm engineer, sir, respect me. You don't insult me. Fuck you and that your degree. When you look at Africa, fuck you with whatever you are bragging you have, whether you are a king, senator, president, governor, whatever you are in Africa, and you think that fuck you and fuck that too. Some of you think I'm just talking about Biafra or just some portion of Africa. No, I am African. The Africa in me care about the Africa in you, not tribes. We are more than tribe. Africa is family, and that's our family. But we have been divided and deceived that we are following the distraction and leave our substance. When you see some stupid Africans saying that Barack Obama did bad thing, he killed Gaddafi, I say, stupid people. Number one, Gaddafi was after Islamic agenda. Whether you believe it or not, and when he was alive, all Christians were against him. Some of them that are blaming Obama today is because they love Trump. But is that the same nonsense? You see, they love Trump. They don't care about the intention. Before coronavirus, remember, Trump administration started denying visa to African countries, especially the Nigerians. Even Bishop Oyedepo was denied visa, saying, you're not coming to America again. But they are the one, because of their faith, their mind is blind. They will support Trump against their brother Obama. Then I asked them, where were the African leaders when Obama, your brother, who was the president of America, not president of black people, when he came and killed your brother in Africa? Where were the African Union? So America can just come in Africa and take anybody they want. Can any African leader do that in America? Can any African leader come to America now and take Trump? Yet you will see them run their mouth speaking grammar, nonsense. Fuck all of you that believe in that jargon, supporting white supremacy. That's why we are where we are today. We're supposed to be selfish, minding ourselves first. If I dare come to Africa now with a white person, they will not respect me. They'll be respecting white person, black people. I shared a post where Africans were, I think maybe in Kenya or somewhere in Africa, they were doing their traditional stuff. I think it's like traditional wrestling. And he's saying that it's a sand, so your body get dirty. And I said, black and proud. Some of my own black brothers, some of them living in Africa, they say, well, they say, why are you showing that picture? Sorry for that, my battery, I forgot to plug in the charger.